Watering Hole. We're sitting down today with Mr. Johnny Wood. How are you doing?
What's going on, Jager? Rhett? Y'all doing all right?
We're doing great.
Absolutely.
Hell right.
You're from here in Yukon, right?
From Yukon. I've lived in a couple different places growing up, but settled in Yukon through my middle school and high school years.
Yeah. So what's it like being calling Yukon home and then coming and playing like Grady's, like your premier Yukon destination for music?
So Grady's has always been a special place for me. This was one of the first places that I ever got to play live. You know, when you're starting out, as an artist or as a band, some of the hard things are, getting a band together and then, figuring out what songs you're going to play. But one of the steps that people don't really think about is actually booking a gig somewhere, at a venue. And so Grady's has always will hold a special place in my heart because one of the first places that ever let me, come in here and do what I love to do. And so it's always special to be able to come back and to play, your hometown. We try to come back here once a year. And, Oklahoma, believe it or not, can be a tough market in the music industry, especially Oklahoma City. So we're always grateful to have people come out and support us.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I know this is really cliche, but COVID just had a lot to do with everything. I think it just shifted everyone's mindset to money and time and priorities, maybe. I don't know. But I think the music scene is slowly making a comeback. And to like Oklahoma City area, there's not a college, like Stillwater's always got a pretty good music scene, because kids need beer to drink and women to chase, and so there's always that. So but Oklahoma City, there's not really. You got your few venues here, but I don't know. That's a really good question. I haven't figured it out. When you do, tell me.
So that's, I mean, even in Stillwater, it seems like for us, we've experienced like we go to the Tumbleweed a lot. Obviously, that's like the big destination in Stillwater.
Right.
But we've seen like a lot of really good like Texas artists that we come we'll interview and we love their music, and we're like, oh, these people are gonna have like a killer crowd. Like there's gonna be like hundreds of people, and then like they don't really get the crowd we think they do, and we are perplexed on why that is, because it's really good music. It's just like it seems like people have been a little apathetic as of late to actually get out and go watch.
I agree. It's such a hard game to play, especially as an artist, to try to figure out where you fit best at, and what people want to hear. And I mean, there's some people that haven't figured out. I mean, you take people like Wyatt Flores and I mean, anywhere that dude plays, there's going to be a crowd. And so he's found something there that people just resonate to. And I think as artists, you just search for that thing, and I think that's the hardest part is like, you want to stay yourself as an artist. You always want to be yourself, but it's hard. It's a hard thing to do in an ever evolving, changing industry.
I feel like the music scene and like kind of what we're doing is kind of similar in a way, because I've always had this theory of or since we started the podcast, like people don't care about an artist or a song until it's like a very popular thing.
True.
But how does it get to be popular? I feel like it's like a select group of people that, like people that come to places like this, they want to hear up and coming acts. They want to hear, smaller name bands. But I feel like there's so many people out there that would like you or the Hughes brothers or whatever, but they're not even giving it a chance, just because it's not like what you would hear on the radio or.
Right. And there's, especially nowadays, there's so much music out every week. I mean, there's always the new thing, there's new artists that are releasing music every single week. And, I can't remember the number, but it's like Spotify releases like 7,000 new songs a day or a week or something like that, which is a lot, so I think you just have to find that. Ultimately, it's luck. I mean, when it boils down to it, whether it be like a line in a song that people are drawn to or a melody, you know, and it grabs. And like you said, no one really cares until it is a big thing, you know. And then they discover the great stuff that they had previously.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been a like Treaty Oak, for example. When the first time they were the first podcast we did at Tumbleweed, we got extremely lucky, you know, being able to do them first.
That's awesome.
They had a good crowd, but it wasn't like packed to the brim, sold out. And then now it's like anytime they're there, it's like the place is full. You know, it's just, and like the music's the same, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's just more people giving it a chance for whatever reason. It's very interesting. We could talk for hours.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like Champion. Like back in the day, Champion was like Kmart brand. Like you were not cool if you were Champion.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's like $50 for a shirt. I'm like, bro, I got some of that stuff in my closet. You know?
Like the Stanley stuff too.
Yeah, Stanley Cup.
Stanley.
Yeah.
My granddad, like,
Yeah.
you got the old green thermoses.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy what a rebrand can do for some like a company like that. It's just they hit this like line of
Just need women promoting.
yeah, that's exactly what it is actually.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day.
And then it's like all they did was just put a handle on it and make it a matte color, and people went crazy for it. I don't know.
agree.
That's all they did.
I agree.
So who are some people that you like to listen to, or people that inspired you to get into music?
Probably some of my first, you know, inspirations were people like Eric Church. As far as mainstream goes, you know, Eric Church, Brothers Osborne, you know, the Jason Aldeans and stuff. But, you know, I was very heavy into, you know, the Cross Canadian Ragweed and Randy Rogers and William Clark Green. You know, that the list goes on and on. And as a writer, you know, you have your people that you love to listen to as writers, and then you have your people that you listen to that are, you know, that are artists. But I would honestly, John Mayer is probably my biggest influence, or like one of my biggest heroes musically. Just so much respect for what that guy has done over the last 2 decades. It's unbelievable. Most people don't know, like, that dude's never had a co-write. Like, he's wrote everything that he's ever put out, besides the covers, obviously. But,
Yeah.
and each album is different. I mean, it's like Americana, folk, blues, pop. I mean, he's a genius. And so, but yeah, I would say, you know, Cross Canadian Ragweed and Randy Rogers were some of my biggest people that I love to listen to.
How fitting of a place to be.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
joke, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's special to me, honestly.
I was asking him earlier because I heard you guys playing 17.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if this is like would hold a record for the most Cross Canadian Ragweed covers played.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I've been I've listened to some of their like popular stuff for a long time. Since I was little, my parents played it, but as I've started to dive into it, Lighthouse Keeper is one of my absolute favorite songs of all time. And it's such a weird song, but it's like,
No, it's great.
from the lyrics to the guitar in it, it's just like everything about it. I love that song.
Yep.
Yeah. I asked the User Brothers this question earlier. Do you have like a favorite like full length album that you just like you go back to all the time, like you're hitting the well, like you just need something to put on, I'm gonna put on that album?
As of recently, it's been Zach Top's new album.
Oh, really?
Oh my! If you have not listened to that album, it is, I mean, bar none, one of the best albums I've heard in a really, really long time.
Yeah,
dude.
You're preaching the choir on this side of the camera. We're huge Zach Top fans,
Man,
for sure.
It's just like there's not a bad song on there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I used to listen to a lot of Eric Church, like especially the early stuff, like like Carolina and Chief.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. The Outsiders album was great too.
Outsiders is great.
Yeah.
They're all like, I mean, they're all great, man. I get to hear. I probably know every word to every Eric Church song there is. Like, no.
He's one of the few guys that, like Nashville guys, that is still, I feel still is trying to be unique. And there's a very few of them that like that are like the radio traditional like route of listening to country that is still being unique and being what they want to be as I say being what they want to be as an artist. Still sounds unique and still stands out from the rest for sure.
Right. I mean, he's always been like, to me, it was kind of the start of the new era of like the outlaw, country for me. And lyrically, I mean, he's such a great writer too. And that's another thing too, is, a lot of the Nashville guys, they don't write their own stuff, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Like that's just a part of the business, and they're the face of that song. But Eric is, very in tune with like everything that really kind of goes on. So which is really cool. So
yeah, I feel like he's one of the, like he is Nashville and everything, but I feel like he's one of the outsiders of the Nashville scene. Yeah,
yeah, he is. He definitely is.
Yeah.
Didn't they just open? Didn't he just open one of those bars on the strip at Nashville?
Yeah, that's one of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Morgan Wallen made that one famous.
He threw a chair off the balcony or something like that.
Oh really?
Off the roof of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Got arrested.
Yeah. So and we again we're talking about this with the Hughes brothers earlier, was like the uniqueness and variety that is in this scene between Oklahoma and Texas, and then you have like kind of the Kansas, like this kind of area of country music. It seems like there's a lot of variety from like your heavier rock, like you got Tridio and Geo and those people that can like make those rock bills if they want to, and then you have like the traditional, like you got the Braxton Keith, that is really like almost that 90s honky tonk sound.
Yep.
And then you got everything in between. Like it's really hard to put like the Hughes brothers in a box, or like they really have a unique sound that's really them, which is really cool. And I think it's cool to see a variety of that coming up in the scene. So.
Yeah, Hughes brothers. It's like, I want to say like Head and Shoulders soul. You know what I mean?
I just found out that was Josh's nickname is Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, I call him Head and Shoulders. I don't know if that's his nickname or not, but that's what I call him.
That's hilarious.
Those guys are really genuine guys too.
Absolutely,
yeah.
man. Some of the best.
A lot of the people we have on, they're nice, but you can just tell they're not like, these guys are invested in, their fans and their community and everything like that. Yeah. Who else have you been able to open for or play with, or?
So did a few shows with Randall King, Corey Kent.
What was Randall King like?
Randall King's is a great dude. I learned a lot from his band and just like, showmanship and how his camp works, and just a great guy, man, honestly. And he's true too. I mean, people like talk about Zach Top and Braxton Keith, and man, Randall's been doing that shit way longer than they were. Way longer than they have, so that's, I really consider Randall a friend, and so yeah. Trying to think. Pat Green.
Oh, very cool.
Tyler Rich out of Nashville. Muscadine Bloodline. Cody Hibbard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've had him on.
Yeah, Cody Hibbard's one of my best friends. Solid guy, man. Like, just he's helped me out more than probably any other artist and out there, and my loyalty is always to that guy, man. So I've been fortunate enough to be able to do some really cool stuff.
Do you kind of stay in the area, or do you travel around?
I mean, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Arkansas a little bit, Colorado every now and again. Okay. So, but I travel to Nashville once a month for a week to write, and then come back. And so I'll play in Nashville once a month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's been the coolest venue you've been able to play so far?
Ooh, that's a great question. Man, Cheatham Street was really cool in San Marcos, just because of the nostalgia in it. That was really cool. Temple Live in Wichita, as far as aesthetic goes, it's like this early 1800s, like, like vibe where, like kings and queens used to like sit, you know? it's like it's like that type of a room. It's unbelievable, and it's just the sound in there is really cool. So those two places. Trying to think. Jones Assembly here in Oklahoma City, man, that's a great place. We played there. Backyard in Waco. That's a fun place. It's a really fun place.
Yeah.
So those couple of those venues.
What about hobbies? What kind of hobbies you got?
I love to fish, man. Bass fish.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What? I'm not familiar with the lakes around here. What lake do you go to around here?
Eufaula. There's Lake Eufaula that's kind of like southeastern Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Lake Murray in Ardmore. Caw Lake. I'm trying to think where else. Keystone, Grand. A lot of the a lot of the eastern side of the lake.
Yeah.
We're from around Grand Lake.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Just south of there is where we
Hudson.
both grew up.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a small lake that actually feeds into Hudson that they pump water in and out to. No, it's
called Chimney Rock.
Yeah,
Lake.
Chimney Rock Lake.
Yeah.
And it's a no motor lake. You can only have either electric motors. Yeah,
no gas motors.
Yeah, you can either have electric motors or just like kayaks.
Yeah.
And we used to go. I used to go fishing there with Dad all the time, and they got some really good bass fishing there if you ever get a chance. Yeah.
It's like a really good spot to catch smallmouth.
Oh yeah,
which is not very common in
Yeah.
eastern Oklahoma, but right there you can nail them.
Yeah, man, smallmouth is always my favorite to catch too,
Oh,
because they
yeah.
always put up a great fight.
Acrobatics.
There's a lot of drum out there too.
Oh yeah.
One time one of the first times I caught one, I was like, I gotta take this home and eat it, and everyone's like, no, don't waste your time. I did it and it was a mistake. I shouldn't have done it.
It's terrible.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
You have any music, any dates coming up soon?
Yeah. So I don't know when this is going to air, but July 26th, we're actually doing a Toby Keith tribute deal at the Tower Theater in Oklahoma City.
Oh really?
I saw that.
There's four artists that are on that.
Is Ross Clayton on that?
Yeah, Ross
Okay.
Clayton, one of my really good friends.
We just had Ross on.
Yeah, dude, I freaking love
little
Ross,
while
man.
ago.
Ross is one of my really good friends. And then I'm headed off to Nashville to play, and then doing some recording stuff, and then we'll probably take a month off of August, and then we get started back up. We're here at Grady's the 20th, I think, of September, and then we're in Texarkana the next day. So I'm trying to think what else we've got going on my calendar open on me, but
do you have a website?
yeah,
Okay.
it's JohnnyWoodsOfficial.com.
Okay.
And
What about social media? What are your handles on
yeah,
that?
just Johnny Wood Music on TikTok, Instagram,
Okay.
Facebook.
He makes it really easy.
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
super simple.
Johnny Woods Official. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, we'll link all those in the description
Thank
so
you
people
guys
can check
very
those
much
out.
for having me too.
And yeah, we appreciate you taking some time. I'm sure you're tired after your set, but we appreciate you hanging around and talking to us for a few minutes.
I'm gonna go listen to the Head and Shoulder Brothers. And,
Yes, perfect.
All right. Well, thank you, man, for coming on.
thank you guys very much.